If you finally got the job offer and accepted it immediately, chances are you left a lot of money on the table. And it's not because you're just not worth more, it's because you didn't negotiate. So let's fix that. Welcome back. I'm Ariana, aka the Career Queen. I help people stop playing with their careers and start fixing it strategically. This is episode 4, the final episode of my Fix Your Career in 15 Minutes series. So, in the previous episodes, we fixed your resume, we fixed the way you apply for jobs, and we fixed your interviews. Now, we're going to talk about how you're leaving money on the table. So, here's a real problem. Most people think that salaries are fixed, but I'm here to tell you that most times companies have ranges. And I'm not going to lie. After being on the inside, I understand why they do it, but I am here to tell you why you should use it to your advantage. So at the end of the day, when a hiring manager is solidifying a role that they're going to hire for, they automatically know what range they're going to pay in. So they determine a number, and that's where they want to end up, right? So at the end of the day, there's a number that they won't go below just for legal or ethical reasons, but there's a number that they really don't want to go above, right? And the only way they go above this is if you seriously negotiate and you actually blow them out of the water, right? Does it happen for everyone? Probably not. Maybe the department is trying to do something else with the funds, and that could be something that they may discuss with you and be transparent. In that case, perfectly fine. Just make your decision, move on, or accept. So what I want you to think about, it would be, what are my qualifications that I have? What are my qualifications that they're wanting, and what are qualifications I have that they didn't say they want but would actually complement and be necessary in the role. So in order to do that, you have to understand what the market rate is for the position that you're applying for in the industry that that position is located, right? Because we all know that an accountant across different industries could look different. An accountant in education could be a little less paid. An accountant in oil and gas could be higher paid. An accountant in an engineering company could be different, right? So we have to understand position and industry before we understand how to negotiate our salary properly. Most of the reasons that people end up leaving money on the table is because they think to themselves, I don't want to mess up this opportunity, because they think by negotiating it's going to make the company kind of reject them or take the offer back or whatever the case may be. And I'm here to tell you that rarely happens. When you negotiate, actually, it could do two things. Some people don't like it, right? Some companies might say, whatever, right? And they'll just say, well, this is our final offer, take it or leave it. And they won't reject the offer or retract the offer. But what they would do is kind of counter you, right? Because if they had a certain budget in mind, they might actually push back a little bit and say, you know, this is really what we can offer. Maybe they stayed at the same number, maybe they went up just a little bit, right? So at the end of the day, it's up to you whether you're going to try to actually negotiate. And when you do, just make sure you do it professionally so that it does not leave a nasty taste in their mouth. And I kind of already spilled into, this is the next tip, but know your data, right? Know facts about yourself, your accomplishments, your achievements, your certifications, your skills, your abilities, all of that. But also know the data about the company in terms of what people have been paid in that position before. Use sites like Glassdoor. These things are kind of self-reported where people can report what they have made in these roles, but make sure that you are using these type of platforms before you ever enter a negotiation conversation, because you don't want to be the person with the least amount of information trying to force the company to make a decision and they have more information than you do. I will say that when I previously worked as a recruiter, we used to use a pay, I can't remember the name of it. It's like pay something, I don't know. But it's a pay website where you go and that's where you do research for compensation. So I have done compensation research briefly just to determine an appropriate range for a position that we were hiring for. And in my last video, or one of my last videos, I talked about how I was hiring for a data scientist role. Well, I actually had to come up with the pay structure or pay compensation range for that. I came up with the job description and all of the other things as well, working with the hiring managers to figure out what type of skills they really needed this person to have. So I've done all of that inside information. But as a job seeker, you have to do your research, because if you don't, at the end of the day, they have the most information, they have all the resources, and honestly, they might just laugh at you if you come to them with negotiation with nothing to back it up. Well, something I want you to think about is if you've ever traveled abroad and you've gone to like shops or markets, Most times they'll try to sell you on something, and they'll try to give you the price that they want you to buy it at. I'm here to tell you the same thing works at a job. Most times the first offer is not the best offer, right? It's the best offer for them. It's not the best offer for you. So at the end of the day, it is going to be your responsibility to counter. And I'm telling you that if you take the first offer, 9 times out of 10, they probably were able to go up another 3,000 to 5,000 right away. Anything above that might require some additional approvals and things like that, but within 3 to 5K, they definitely probably could have gone up if they really wanted to. So what happens if you get an offer and you're like, this is more than I could have ever thought of, should I still negotiate? My short answer is absolutely, why not? Don't be blinded by the fact that what you were wanting is something that you're getting. It's so easy for you to, let's say you were hoping for 75K, but they came back and said 85 or 90K, and you're like, oh my God, right? And you're like super happy and you want to accept. Always say thank you, and then also ask for time to evaluate the offer and get back to them. You can then go be over the moon and buy everyone around the drinks at the bar or whatever you're gonna do just to kind of like commemorate the moment, but never accept it right away. 1, you don't want to seem desperate, but 2, you might still be leaving money on the table. So I really need you to hear this clearly. If you are getting job offers and they are above what you were expecting, that is awesome. Thank them, ask them for time to evaluate and to get back to them. And then, only then, when you feel that what they offered is fair, then you can accept. So the next tip is going to be to negotiate strategically, right? If you are not comfortable with negotiating the salary, or maybe you give them an option, right? You can let them know that you'd like to negotiate something else, like paid time off, flexibility working, like working remote or from other locations. Maybe they offer stipends, relocation, whatever the case may be, right? Maybe they can adjust your title. Maybe you're trying to do something strategic, and maybe the pay is like, okay, right? But maybe you really need that title to help you get to the next level. You never know. They might be willing to do some of these things, right? I know in the public sector, that's very rare, but in the private sector, they can essentially do whatever they want, depending on the company and the industry. So make sure that you at least inquire about those things, and just ensure that you're getting all of the information that you need. Last but not least, just ask them, right? Use the script. I'm gonna pop a script up right here, and I want you to use this script. It's not demanding, it's not you overstepping or anything like that. You're just coming from an informed standpoint, a well-researched standpoint, and you're just simply asking and inquiring for something that you like. Remember, most of the time, they'll probably counter back, right? They'll probably come up a little bit, or they might even just meet you right at exactly what you wanted. Could you imagine applying for a role and being offered this role, and their range was actually, let's just say their range was 80 to 110, right? And they offered you 80. First of all, how do you feel about that? And second of all, if you would have just negotiated and said, oh, I was really hoping for 95, they probably would say, okay, let me talk to so-and-so, blah, 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 right, do what they do. And then they'll come back and say, you know what, we can do it. Or they'll give you 90. Imagine accepting the 80. Moment of silence. Can you imagine accepting the 80 and you could have gotten 110, 95, 90, right? Woo! I really hope that that's not happening to anyone out there, but if it is, I really want you to start thinking about how you can evaluate your offers, negotiate them, so that you're not just accepting and settling for the first thing a company dangles in front of you. So I hope that this has resonated with you. If it did, please hype this video so that it can reach other people. That is the #1 way for this to reach anyone else. And if you found it helpful, 9 times out of 10, somebody else will. But just to recap, so when we think about our job offers, right? You've gone through all the hoops. You've gotten the job offer. You probably have gotten plenty of job offers, right? And you either made the mistake of accepting the first time, or you're currently right now battling, negotiating, right? Then this video came right on time. I really want you to think think about your value. What is it that you are bringing to the table for this company that you want to reiterate, because maybe it might be worth more to them, right? I want you to also remember not to accept it immediately, even if it exceeds your expectations. Thank them, ask for time to review, and you'll get back to them. This allows them to, one, see you as a professional, and that the salary didn't just make you like jump for joy or just like overly right? You want to remain calm, keep your composure, but kind of proceed in a more relaxed, professional manner. Remember to use the script that I popped up earlier. If you missed it, go ahead and go back and get it. But use the script, something simple like that just gives you a way to simply say what you're wanting to say without it sounding rude or kind of like defensive or anything like that. You're really just coming from an informed standpoint, and you're just being professional in negotiating your salary. So with all of that, I do hope that this information was helpful for you. If you are currently, in the negotiation phase right now, go ahead and comment negotiation below. Let me know you're here, you're hearing this, it's helped you. Make sure you like the video, especially if you rock with it. It gave you a lot of different insights and perspectives to look at different things. And honestly, I'm so glad that you have come back to watch. I really do appreciate you for giving your time and attention, because guess what? I'm here to help you. I don't sit here and just talk. I'm helping you. There is nothing that I get besides satisfaction out of sitting here giving you all of the free game that I'm giving you. It's pure satisfaction for me, because I believe that a lot of times job seekers are just kind of playing it safe. They're downplaying themselves. They're not reaching up for the stars. And I don't want to see that anymore. So again, thank you so much. I really do hope you enjoyed the entire series. If you did, please comment below and let me know. And also, if you have ideas for other series that you want to hear, maybe you're like, someone's not talking about X, Y, and Z. Can you please talk about it? I would love to hear what your suggestions are. So please feel free to comment them below. And thank you so much for rocking out. I will catch you guys on the next video.